Okay, 1 o'clock. We're going to get started. Thanks to everybody who has joined. Try to start these right on time to honor everybody's time. I'm going to mute everybody, but that will be for probably the first 20, 30 minutes. So keep people on mute, then we'll have questions and answers toward the end. If you have a question that you just are positive you're going to forget, there's a chat button. You can put that in the chat, and I'll be looking for those once we get through the first part of the presentation. So we're going to talk about the Medicare Annual Open Enrollment for 2026, which starts tomorrow. This is some basics about what we know that will be changing on Medicare. Your premium is going to go from $185 to $206.50. If you're a higher income earner, it will be higher than that. They haven't released that chart yet. Those will be coming out in November. Your Part B deductible for the medical outpatient deductible this year was $257. Next year it's $288. And your Part D deductible that is set by the government is $615 instead of $590. Not every plan has a deductible. Some can do a lower one, but that's the standard deductible. So just a reminder that this is about drug plans or Medicare Advantage plans that include drug plans. Your Medicare supplement, the medical supplement, is tied to your birthday. In California, we can look at our medical supplement the month of our birthday up till 60 days from our birthday to see if there is a plan with another company that would suit us better, and you can move to that with no health questions asked, no underwriting, as long as it's equal or lesser to what you have. So again, reminder, this is all about drugs today. All right, so during the annual open enrollment, you can change your prescription plan. You have a plan that changed on you, or you can move to a Medicare Advantage plan. You can move from a Medicare Advantage plan back to original Medicare and get a drug plan. But for most of you, it's not guaranteed to get a supplement. You'd have to answer health questions. So it is highly, 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 I can't make this big enough. I should have made it red. Look at the current plan. You got a notice from your plan. If you requested things to come electronically, it came electronically. If you got it in the mail, it's because you didn't request it electronically. And you'll see, here's your plan in 2025, and here's what it looks like. Some of you might have gotten letters that your plan is just gone. You need to do something. So it is super important every year that you open them. It's okay if you don't understand it, but open them, keep them, don't throw it away. So the alphabet soup of Medicare, D for drugs, was the only part they ever did that actually does kind of make sense. And we got that back in 2006. So I've been an agent longer than we've had drug plans. And Medicare Advantage is a complete replacement of traditional Medicare, where you have a private plan that covers your medical, your drugs, everything all in one. So commissions are gone across the board. The Inflation Reduction Act hosed the insurance carriers who are losing and bleeding red on these drug plans. And so in retribution or trying to survive, whichever way you want to look at it, they have now cut commissions. They're allowed to file that they pay commissions $0 to $57, which was the max that we could ever get in a year. And they all filed for $0. So brokers are not allowed to charge a fee. I have had a lot of people, can't I just pay you to do this? No, you're going to have to grow up. Then survive in the wild. I'll help you. But it is actually illegal for me to take a fee for that. You can't charge a fee to help with a government plan. There are some drug plans that went away. Anthem Blue Cross killed all of their drug plans. They don't want to be in that business anymore. That's how bad it is when your largest carrier walks away from it. The Cigna Extra plan. If you had that plan, you need to pick a new plan. That one there's a new version of that plan, but you weren't migrated to it. You have to pick a new plan. The WellCare Value Plus, also gone. Cigna Saver, they're migrating you to the new HealthSpring Extra plan. And it is instead of $20, $70. So you may want to check that. All the plans from Cigna will now be marketed as Health Spring. Don't ask me why they changed their names. I don't know. There's also some major rate shifts, like the Silver Script Choice. Years ago, we sold that with zero deductible for like $29. Next year, it has a deductible and it's $103.60. So if you are not paying attention, your plans change. Everyone's like, I'll just keep my plan. You sure? Because it might be really different. Best practice is to go to Medicare.gov, the official Medicare site for the government, and create your own username and password. This will save you much, much, much anxiety in the future. Create the username and password. As an option, you can go in as a guest, but then everything that you do or see evaporates as soon as you leave that website. It's not saved. So if you're going to put in your drug plans, especially for all of you who have a list, as long as my arm, oh man, for sure, create your own username and password. So let's go to, these are the new plans. Notice there's like 10 of them. A couple years ago, we had 26. There's a lot of attrition. There's a lot of shrinkage in the drug plan market because, again, the Inflation Reduction Act, putting that $2,000 cap, telling the insurance carriers they have to pay 100% instead of the 60 they were paying before on catastrophic. Yeah, that's not going over super well. So here's the monthly premiums again. So if you know which plan you're on, you can see what the premium is. The lowest cost plan with no deductible is $172 a month. So if you're not happy about having a deductible, pretty sure you're not going to be happy about paying $172 a month to get rid of it either. Some of these plans have a deductible on all the drugs. Some will say, I don't charge a deductible on the generics, only the brand names. So this is super important. Rather than try and go crazy and take a bunch of notes, if you want to take a snapshot, I have learned from my daughter, you pull out your handy cell phone and you take a picture of the screen. So yeah, I see you guys doing it. It's the best way to take notes. So you can snapshot any of this stuff. And I will also be posting the recording of this Zoom on the website that you went to find the Zoom link and all the events. It'll be posted at the bottom there too. So feel free to share with your friends, do whatever with that, as long as they're in the state of California. This may not apply to them otherwise. All right. So we're going to do a little demo about what Medicare.gov looks like when you know you're there. So this is the official website for the government, Medicare.gov, not .com, .us, anything else, .gov. You'll see a little flag up here in the corner, official website of the US government. Confirm that you are where you are. And just for grins, if you put like Medicare in the Google search, I don't even know where it will take you. But if you put Medicare.gov up here in the address bar, it will take you where you want to go, right? Always give it great directions, just like you would for GPS or anything else. So ideally, you guys have gone in and created your login. I'm going to show you why you should. So go in here to log in. If you haven't, when you get here, you're going to go to create an account and you're going to create a username and password that's you. Yes, you have to give them like your Medicare number and some other information. They have to confirm you are who you say you are, but get something that's for you. I'm going to go up here and pull in a sample that I have. See if I can remember this password. Nope. Nope. All right. Well, maybe I'm not going to show you this. You know, when you log in under your username and password, you're going to see drugs that you actually take. You're going to see where you are in your deductible. You're going to see all kinds of really great things. Should be that. All right, well, I'm going to have to go recreate that. Let's go in as a guest. So now I am just going to go here to health and drug plans. Find a health and drug plan. So it's telling you right now it's going to default you to 2026. If you wanted to look at your old plan, you'd have to do 2025. But right now we're looking at the future. So I'm going to put in a zip code, hit continue. I want D for drugs. That's what I want to look at. If you have Medi-Cal, if you have extra help, LIS benefits, click these boxes. If not, click I don't get any help from these programs. Yes, I want to see my drug costs so I can compare plans. Otherwise, what's the point? It would just show you the premiums. And here's where you're going to start to put in your drugs. So I'm going to make up an imaginary person who has Eliquis. And then I'm going to, are they 5 milligrams, 2 milligrams? Let's say 5, and I take it twice a day. And maybe I've got a little blood pressure medicine. I'll pick a different amount. You just go through and put in your drugs like this. Add another drug. Once you type in the first 3 or 4 letters, type in what you see on the label. So if you take levothyroxine, don't type in Synthroid. You type in the actual drug that it is. So let's just say for that sake, that's what we have. We're done adding our drugs. Now, prices vary at different pharmacies, just like they do for groceries. The same gallon of milk might be a different price at Safeway, Nob Hill, wherever it is that you go. So you need to check. If you have a pharmacy preference, you like mail order, great. Let's say we'll look at Safeway and Walgreens and maybe CVS. Pick the ones that you like. You can pick up to 5 and then hit continue to view plans. And now the top plan is going to be what comes up to the top. So the 0 premium health spring plan. Doesn't make sense that if you have a really expensive drug like Eliquis, that might be the answer. But in this case, it is. You want to make sure that the sorting plan sorts to lowest drug plus premium, because I can have really expensive drugs, low premium or high premium or vice versa. It's that total number that I care about. And that's what you're going to see here. This 1241.45 is all the premium, which happens to be 0, and then the drug costs for that year estimated. So, and again, estimated. Don't hold their feet to the fire. They don't know what's going to happen. Drugs come and go off formularies. New drugs come out. Some drugs are yanked by the FDA. A new generic comes out. These change all the time. So you can only shop on what we know, but it's not going to always match penny for penny. All right, so if I look at, I want to view the pharmacies and see which ones were cheaper. Now I can scroll down and go, all of my drugs for the year, here's the different costs. They're all pretty close. Eliquis was one of the 10 drugs that has a new price negotiation on it. So the retail cost of Eliquis last year was around $600. When we look this year, the retail cost is like $260. So that was part of what was going on with the negotiating drugs. This is the first year that we're starting to see some benefit from that. So if you want to look at the actual drugs, you can see these pharmacies that are preferred typically have a little better contractual pricing, but not always. So you'd want to look at them. But look at here at Lisinopril, anywhere from $7 to $45 to $8. Same drug, different pharmacies with this plan. So you can go to any pharmacy you want. I'd pick the cheaper one. So this breaks down, your cost again per month. you have this deductible. So in January, you're going to have these pretty big payments. But by April, you've met the deductible, and now your payment for getting all those drugs is this. So that's how you would look at it. You can break down further from that, but really that's the biggest thing that most people, if you're in here and you're like, oh, I forgot to add something. Okay, let's change drugs. Now I can add another drug. I forgot that I was on, oh, this is a fun one, Ozempic. There's one challenge with this. One is that like it, you get just one pen for, because I think that's what most people have and that lasts them. But I'll say I get that every month. And now I'm going to go, I'm done adding drugs. I want to recalculate. So now I want to, oh, now this WellCare plan is a better plan. And so now I'm going to look at viewing the drugs and their costs. One cautionary tale about things like Ozempic. There are a number of drugs that require pre-authorization. Pre-authorization just means that your doctor has to prove you meet the criteria to take said drug. If I want to take Ozempic so that I don't have to have any self-control and lose weight, then I can do that. But it doesn't qualify on my Medicare because for Medicare, you have to be a diabetic, gross morbidly obese, or certain other health considerations, congestive heart failure, obesity, in order to qualify to get that drug covered. So it's one that has pre-authorization. You can't tell that from this, which is unfortunate. So what I recommend is if this plan comes up to the top and you want to verify that this for sure is what it is, because this is a government website that just consolidates information, whatever plan choice it is, as of tomorrow, there will be something in here that says apply. When you go to apply, it takes you over to the website for that carrier. I recommend you putting in your drugs once again there to see if there's any pre-authorization. It usually is marked with a PA. Quantity limits. Sometimes they'll only give you a certain amount of drugs. Happens a lot with the barbiturates and the opioids. Your doctor will have to fight the good fight if you need more than that. But you want to make sure that all of your drugs, reject, are covered so that there is an annual maximum that can come out of your pocket. Last year, this year, it was 2,000. Next year, it's 2,100. So that is kind of just the Reader's Digest of how you utilize Medicare.gov. I always recommend that you create the login, be able to go in and see that. You lose your Medicare card, log in. You can print and ask for a new one. You don't know where you are in your deductible on your drugs, log in. You can see that. You don't remember which drug plan you're on, log in. It will tell you. So there's a lot of self-service things that you can do. And as agents are being cut out, and we are not able to assist with this, at least economically, then I want to make sure that you are able to fend for yourself. If you are my client and you go in there and you have saved your username and password, you have put in your drugs, and you have that one quick, oh my God, question. If you email me, we'll have to chat on the phone because I don't want you to put your username and password in there. But if I can get in it and look, then I can tell you if there's anything that you should be looking at. But you guys have to do the legwork. Last year I did 1,700 drug reviews and we didn't get paid on hardly any of them. So I told people last year that was probably the last year we could do that. And this year, a little more self-service is going to be required. I'm here to help you. I cannot do all of those. So let me just go back to next one here. So this is your guide to creating that Medicare.gov account. So again, pull out your handy little phones and take a picture because these are the detailed instructions of how to do it. You're going to go to that Medicare.gov site. You're going to make sure you're on the original, red, white, and blue flag US government. You are going to that login button. If you don't already have a username and password, you're going to register, create your own username and password. So you're going to hit create account. You're going to agree to the government terms. Yes, I know Big Brother's watching. I'm telling the truth. You're going to enter your Medicare information right off the card, your red, white, and blue card, and the start date of your Part A. That's how they confirm that you are who you say you are. There's some personal details that you put in. You create your own username and password. You can create a secret question in case you forget your password, which apparently I have to go do on my sample, and complete the process. So once you get in there, now you're going to be able to see the plans that you're on, the drugs that they've been paying for, at least. That might not be all of them. Some of you use GoodRx or something for some one-off drugs. So that's what they'll see. So you do want to see that the drug costs. There's no sense in just looking at the premium. That's only half the picture. You need the whole picture. It is your mission to try and put in the right information. A key one that is messed up all the time, why it defaults to levothyroxine capsules, I don't know, because everybody on the planet takes levothyroxine tablets. Tablets cost a penny. Capsules are hundreds of dollars. It's something to do with how they're absorbed. So make sure that you're marking tablet, capsule. It's a cream, an ointment, lotion, potion, whatever it is. It's a 30-gram tube, 45-gram tube, right? It's garbage in, garbage out when we do these. So you can go in and find those drug plans. So that's pretty much that. We've already done it. You can choose the 5 pharmacies. Make sure that default is set at lowest cost drug and premiums, because only half the picture, we don't care. And look for the plan that has that lowest combined total. Okay, the prior authorization, usually marked as a PA or a QL. Unfortunately, on the government website, you can't see this. So you do have to take it one step further. If you thought WellCare Value Script was the plan, then when you go to WellCare's website, make sure that you're putting in those drugs there, because any extra information you need to know will come up then. So use this as like your first screening choice. If the plan that you were on turns out to be the best plan for you, congratulations, you're done. A new ID card will show up later in the year. If you did not pay for your plan during the year, some of you got canceled. You have to pick a new plan. Just because you signed up for something last year, if you didn't pay the premium, you still don't have that plan. So you do have to pick something else. Even on that zero cost plan, if you have a late enrollment penalty because you had a gap in your drug coverage, if you have an income related adjustment, there will still be a bill. So I have an income adjustment. Anything I buy my zero plan will cost me another $78 because I get dinged for making money. So, and being single. You guys can make more when you're married, but I'm not going to go there. So the income related ones are in your bill from Medicare. So if you're on Social Security, they just take the money. Half of you don't notice. But they will send you a notice in November that says, based on your 2024 taxes that were just completed, we thought your income was this, therefore we're going to charge you X for your Medicare. So if you're single making less than 109,000 or married less than like 215, you don't worry, you pay the standard amount. But if your adjusted gross income was higher than that, you'll be paying more. So even a $0 plan might have a bill related to it that you still have to pay if you have that late enrollment penalty or the IRMA, income related adjustment. If you are starting to feel priced out with double-digit increases on your Medicare supplement plan and now drug plans, you can book a private appointment if you're wanting to discuss Medicare Advantage options. In Santa Cruz County, we only have one group left standing, the alignment plans that work with Sutter Health. The Aetna plans are gone that worked with Dignity Health, and there is Kaiser as well. So if you want to have a conversation about that, you're welcome to book a private appointment. Those are items that we do still get some compensation on. And in case you hadn't met us and you just talked to us on the phone, that's kind of what we look like. And where our website is, this website is where you would have gone and hit that 2026 events. We're going to be doing this a number of different times. We're doing one for people who are curious about Medicare Advantage. The next one we're doing next Monday, and it's kind of just questions and answers about Medicare in general. How does it cover this, that, the other thing? Income-related adjustments, nothing to do with a specific plan, just Medicare questions and answers. We're just opening up the floor for that. And then we'll be doing one about Medicare Advantage Curious, those alignment plans on Thursday, the 23rd. So there's that whole schedule on the events page here on Low Cost CA Health. And so I'm going to go to, let's go to my chat. Let's see if I can see it. I'm glad that you found that helpful, Jen. Thanks. There was a video on how to set up the account that's also on the website right now. So you're happy to, or welcome to go check out that. So if you have a question, realize that there are 45 people on this call. So if it's personal information, you might want to keep that to yourself. But if you have a general question and you would like to unmute yourself, because I can only see like 2 or 3 of you. Anybody have a question about what's going on?
Pam, Ron here.
Mhm.
If we had WellCare value script last year. It was costing us $17.50. Is it going down this
Yes,
year to
it's
5
going
cents?
down this year, but the drug formulary behind it is different. So always still research it.
Okay.
But yes, there's a couple going down. The Cigna Assurance, which will now be the Health Spring Assurance, was $1.80 and it went to 0. It was too much of a pain to gather the money. So WellCare went down. Those are the 2 plans that went down. Aetna's went up to 103. There's drug plans now over $200. So it's gotten a little crazy. Some of the cost of the actual drugs, they seem very expensive up front, but if you're on a $30,000 chemo drug and it's covered by your plan, you pay $2,000 in January and you're done for the rest of the year. That insurance company is having to pay all of that, which is why they hate drug plans right now and why they don't really want to participate, which is why we're down to 10 plans.
Is my enrollment period for the drug plan different from the enrollment period that's ending for the regular health Medicare supplement plans?
Yes, there's a million different open enrollments just to
Oh,
make
okay.
life. It's great job security if they would just pay me. But there is your Medicare with the government when you turn 65 or you left a job. That's one set of times. There's the Medicare supplements. You already have it. The time you can change it is tied to your birthday. The drug plans and Medicare Advantage for forever will be October 15th through December 7th.
Do you know if we got approved for what we talked about last week?
I do not.
Okay.
Hey,
Thanks.
Pam,
Uh-huh.
could you talk a little bit about the $2,000 cap?
Sure. So the Inflation Reduction Act that Biden's administration passed a few years ago had a lot of different things in it. One of the things that went into effect this year was that any covered medication, so it has to be covered under your plan and approved for you, you will never spend more than $2,000 total in the calendar year for your medications, all of the covered plans. So in the past, I'll take Eliquis as a scapegoat. Eliquis was over $600 a month. People had a deductible. They're like, I'll go get it from Canada. And they would pay $200 a month. That was probably an okay plan then. But now if it's only two something because of this rate negotiation, it's better to use your plan to get that, because after you've been out $2,100 next year, you've met this cap. Now all your drugs are zero cost to you. There is something too for people who have like that shock amount that they have to pay in January if you're on one of these expensive drugs and it's like 600 for those first couple of months. You can contact the insurance carrier and they have a payment plan where they take, okay, your drugs are going to cost you the 2,100, so we're going to make even payments to us, the insurance company, and you won't pay at the pharmacy. So there is a way to smooth that road, but you have to apply at the insurance carrier that you have. It's a
Pam?
payment plan to them.
Pam, I do not take any medications. How does that affect my process?
If HealthSpring Assurance is the cheapest plan at $0. If you were on the Cigna Assurance last year, that's what that plan becomes. So you can just let it roll over.
And then that will be a $70 increase. No matter what I do, it's still going to be an increase.
No, that was only on there's people tell I have Cigna, I have United Healthcare. That means poop. They have lots of different plans. Are you on the Cigna Assurance? It's like saying a Ford Mustang and a Ford pickup truck are the same, right? Ford wasn't enough to tell me what you got.
So
So if you
what you're saying is I don't have to do anything then?
are Cigna Assurance, you were paying $1.80 this year.
It says Cigna. I don't know. It just says Cigna on my card.
What are you paying per month?
I think it's 126 per month.
That's not the assurance plan. Then what you need is HealthSpring Assurance.
Assurance.
Let me go back here to our little handy chart. Close your eyes. This might there. Yep. So here, HealthSpring Assurance, $0 per month. If I'm on no drugs, that's probably the one I want. If you're on a few super low cost generic meds, another one that I see come up fairly frequently is this WellCare Value script. Because it has no deductible on generic meds, but it has the $615 above that. But again, the drugs that it covers. So this stuff is like the 30,000 foot view. You got to get into the weeds about, does it cover my drugs? If it doesn't matter how low the deductible is. It doesn't matter, it won't pay. So drugs covered. I can go to my pharmacy. What's the lowest cost combination? You got to engineer it. And it's not enough just to say Cigna or HealthSpring, because now they have two next year, right? So people, the email that I have to like take some deep breaths and go into a Zen place is, hi, this is Sally. Got a lot of you. No last name. Do I need to do anything? Or does my plan cover this? I'm still stuck at who are you? So first name, last name, I'm on Cigna Assurance. I don't have any drugs. Bam, I can throw back an answer. You don't need to do anything. But what I get is Sally, no last name, no plan. And now I have to go research it. I didn't sign you guys up for a lot of these plans last year. I don't have records of it. I don't get paid. You guys have to track what you're on. I'm happy to help you and help you navigate it and how to choose, but I can't do as much hand-holding when everything now is on a volunteer basis.
So if I do the HealthSpring Assurance and I don't have take any medications monthly, but say something happens and I need a prescription for something, it's still
prescription?
Then it's still covered, right?
If that prescription was on the list of things they cover.
But how do you know what you need to pick up?
And this is what I've been trying to tell you guys when you asked me this question for years. So let me go back to Medicare.gov. If I go in here, and you can do this for yourself, play around with it like it's the what if place. So I want to look at drug plans. I don't take any drugs, but heck, all my friends are taking Eliquis. Go in and put Eliquis. Is it covered? How is it covered? If I got routine antibiotics because I'm getting some dental work, right? I don't know, throw a drug name in there. You won't know. There has to be 2 drugs in every therapeutic class. So there's 2 types of gram-negative killing antibiotics and 2 types of gram-positive killing and short-acting insulin and long-acting insulin. So there has to be something in there that would cover the bases. Is it the thing your doctor prescribed? I can't tell you till you give me the name of a drug and put it in there. But there has to be at least 2 things. There might be some really high, crazy chemotherapy type of agent where only one of those things exists. Then it's going to be on there on all the plans, even the 0 one. Doctors do not know much, if anything, about insurance. They know about fixing your boo-boos, right? About stitching you up and giving you pills and that sort of thing. Don't ask them about insurance. Trust me, from personal experience in helping a few of them, they don't know anything about it, other than they don't like doing the paperwork.
So what you're saying is go in, sign up for HealthSpring Assurance, and then still write
I'm just
into.
telling you, if you have to know, go in here and play around. Throw in a name of a drug you think you might be on your horizon, right?
Okay.
I don't
Pamela,
know, but there has to
Pam,
be like 2 short-acting, 2 long-acting inhalers, that sort of thing.
on that last chart, you had in parenthesis Medi-Cal.
There are some plans that for people who have Medi-Cal, that Medi-Cal will automatically assign you to, because Medi-Cal acts as a supplement to that. That just happened to be one of them.
Thank you.
I
I
think
I
the
was curious.
WellCare Classic is another one that works in tandem with Medi-Cal.
Pam, I'm on the $1.80 WellCare plan. Are you saying that it'll automatically switch to that HealthSpring Assurance $0?
Well, if you were on the $1.80 Cigna assurance
Yeah,
plan,
Cigna, $1.80
yeah,
Cigna.
okay, not WellCare, because it wasn't a $1.80.
Okay, $1.80
That is
Cigna.
automatically becoming HealthSpring. So they sent you a booklet.
Yeah, I got that.
Mine's buried. I know, and nobody looks at it. Telling you people for the rest of your life, you got to. You got to. I mean, we may not be here. So you've got to do it. You've got to look at. A lot of people threw it away because it didn't say Cigna. Now, that's pretty legit, honestly, because you get so much junk mail.
Yeah.
But open up stuff before you put it in the blue bin, because it's amazing how many people tell me, I didn't know. They never told me. Yeah, they did. And they can prove they sent it to you. If you asked for all of your paperwork to come electronic, guess what? You didn't get it in the mail. It's in your email. Check your spam folder or check all that stuff you haven't looked at yet.
Yes.
But every September, these letters come out. They're called annual notices of change, and they're required by law to send it to you.
Pam,
Everyone-
David here.
Uh-huh.
How much change is there from state to state?
Some, not much. I mean, there are certain plans that are national. WellCare and HealthSpring are national. Some states have companies you've never heard of, and we have companies that they've never heard of. So, but as far as what drugs are covered, not much.
Thanks.
But not every company is like Blue Shield is Blue Shield of California. It is different than Blue Shield of Texas or Blue Shield of Wyoming or wherever else they may be. It's not a national program. They're state by state. But in our state, that was all the plans that we have left. The Inflation Reduction Act did very, very, very unkind things to bottom lines of insurance carriers, which typically we'd be like, yeah, good on them, right? Except bad on you because you know that poop runs downhill, right? And you know that if the government poops on the insurance companies, they're going to poop on us. So, I mean, agents are just collateral damage. If there are companies like Humana, they will not even give us access to enroll you. That's how much they don't want to sell their drug plan. The only way you're going to get it is if you go on healthcare.gov and sign up for it, if that was the best plan for you. I can't even look at that in my software. They don't want to sell it so bad. They yanked the entire platform from us. So I'm just telling you, no matter how much everybody here would love to just do it like we've always done it, can't. So participation from now on, I think, is going to be required. We can still help you transition your Medicare supplements. We can still help you with Medicare Advantage, at least for now. I mean, Kaiser's never paid us, so if you want them, just call them, right? They don't work with agents either. Let's see. So somebody's like, put your drugs in, it was less than $1,000. What I'm on now is 2,000 or 3,000. You don't have 2.5 stars. You know, the star rating is from 2 years ago, right? So they ask, so I wouldn't put any credit in any of them. I've seen some 5-star plans. I hate those companies passionately. I would never buy. So I would not give too much credence to that. If you are looking for customer service, don't buy a drug plan. That doesn't exist. If you're on these $5 plans, you and 100 million people in the United States are on that plan. So are you going to be on hold for a while? Yeah. So anything you can do online, I'm telling you, it's your best friend, right? And so people will call and ask me questions. I'd be like, go into your account. I've never done that. Well, go into your account because that's where the answer is. I can't see it. So I can tell you where to look. I never would call a drug plan. So do I think HealthSpring, who has never existed, Assurance, who has never existed with HealthSpring, been okay? I don't know. If I had the answers to some of these questions, I wouldn't be on Zoom working for zero for you guys. I'd be in Maui, floating with turtles, playing the stock market because I could see the answers, right? So sorry for sometimes the snarky remarks, but that's where I would be.
I have
What's
a
up?
question.
Sure.
This is Colette. I'm a fiduciary, so I do this for several clients,
Okay.
including my mom, which she just met in the Zoom appointment. Thank you so much for doing this. So she's all set. I am having one of my clients even creating a Medicare account, which is pretty straightforward.
It's pretty straightforward. The fear of doing it, I promise you, is worse than doing it.
Yeah, it's my mom actually did it all by.
Oh, go ahead and finish, Colette.
But I am unable. They keep rejecting the correct Medicare number, the correct birth date, the zip code that her Medicare card is listed on.
You'll have to call them. I can't say that. There has been cases where people have gotten a new Medicare number due to some kind of fraudulent activity or for reasons I don't know why they ended up with a new one. It could be something like that. Or there's something in the system that doesn't match. If Medicare and Social Security don't have your correct address, that can bounce things.
Okay, thank you. I will call them.
Thank
you so much for doing this.
No problem.
When does the window close? It opens tomorrow and that it
October 15th through December 7th.
December 7th. Okay.
Yeah. And then somebody else mentioned they made the mistake of the levothyroxine capsules. If I get one that pops back and go, your person's drug costs are thousands of dollars, I'm like, whoa, wait. No, something's wrong. And it's almost always something like capsules versus tablets. Or if you take a drug and it has an ER behind it, that means extended release. That's a different price than the non-ER. So make sure that you're actually looking at the label and making it look like that because it is garbage in, garbage out. And I catch this sometimes, the reports that you guys have to do, this is what they look like on my side, right? So it comes out with your doctors, the drugs, your name, date of birth, that sort of thing. And that permission slip that you had to sign is signed on here. So, but I look at it and go, yeah, that's not what that person takes. Or they put that there's this cream and they get 1 tube every month. Now, if it's a 5, gram kind of tube tiny, maybe. But if it's a 45-gram tube, I got to double check. Like, do you really? Oh, no, I only buy that once a year. Then make sure you put that you buy it once a year, because it's calculating these costs and it's just doing math is all it's doing. So if you give it the wrong item, you'll get the wrong math. All right. Any other questions you can think of?
I have one.
Okay.
I was wondering, I have gone in and logged in the plan on Medicare.gov and looked at the different drugs and I have one that is not covered generally.
Mm-hmm.
Is it smart to go through every plan to see if it's definitely not covered on each plan or
Some drugs are not. And typically it's going to be something, I'll just give you an obvious one, Synthroid.
yeah.
There's no plan that covers it. So take it off your list, pay the $40 for it, and don't use it in the calculation.
Oh, I
Just
see.
again,
Okay.
but for women, that's a common one, right? Because
Right,
they'll pay
right.
for the generic, they won't pay for the brand name. If you want to
I
do the
see.
brand name, it's on you. Another option that I have access to give you is there's a company based out of Florida called the Canadian Med Store. And this is a gentleman who started before. Remember that there wasn't drug plans. Medicare was never made with a drug plan. We didn't get it till George W. Bush. So his brother got leukemia prior to all that. Couldn't get these expensive drugs. And his friends who lived in New York could go over and pop them into Canada and buy them up there. He lived in Florida. This was kind of a problem. So he started this Canadian Med Store where they arrange with Canadian legit pharmacies. They send the prescriptions up there and they mail order, Canadian mail orders directly to you. They're like the middle person. They have a price list that they put out. So Synthroid, I don't know if this is the most up-to-date one. See if it's on here. Anyway, they're cheaper, sometimes by up to 80%. So
Yeah.
if you've got a drug that's not covered on a plan at all like that, go looking for a good RX, single care, and don't use that in the calculation in picking your drug plan.
Okay. Okay.
Your doctor can try and fight to get a exception for you
Oh,
to get
yeah.
it covered.
Yeah.
But some people, they react to whatever the talc is that holds the tablet together. It makes them cough. Or,
Right.
I don't know. I've heard weird things. So you can always fight the good fight. And if not, you can get them out of Canada or use a coupon. My parents, they have the Cigna Assurance Plan. They're on 2 or 3 little generic meds, and I don't ever use the insurance for those meds. I just use the GoodRx was cheaper. And they're
Oh,
never
yeah.
going to come anywhere near meeting their deductible. And their drugs literally are like $10 a month. So
Oh, interesting. Okay.
sometimes insurance isn't always the answer. You got to have it. I mean, like, I don't take any drugs. I'm not going to go without a drug plan, even though I'm going to get hit $70 for it. I'll take the zero cost plan and at least have it. If I'm hit by a bus, get cancer in the middle of the year, I have no recourse to get a plan. You have to buy it. Whatever you have on December 8th is what you're going to have next year, even if that's nothing.
So it does make sense then to kind of check things like I am on some generic meds and
Every single year for the rest of your life.
right. So then I
That's
should,
why I'm trying to teach you guys this skill, right?
right. So I
If they
so
keep
I should
not
see
paying me,
whether
I might not be here. So I'm trying to give you guys a life skill.
yeah. So then each year I should just it might be cheaper just to pay for it out of pocket is what you're saying as opposed
Sometimes get the cheapest drug plan. We were sweating bullets all summer. I had to do a 40-hour training, take an exam. You have to get 90%. If you don't get it in 3 tries, you're out for the year. I mean, it's like a big deal. Every company made us do all these exams, and then they shot us by not paying us. So all summer I've been doing the training and nobody would release the prices on these low cost plans. And there was a moment in time before the government stepped in with a little backdoor salvation for them that there was no plan under $100 a month.
Mm.
So everybody like me who takes no drugs is gonna like not get a drug plan, right? So the government slipped a little moolah to somebody to whack, if you lose more than this amount, we'll come save you type of thing, I'm sure. But, so now we have a couple of low cost plans for which I'm eternally grateful. It was looking really grim there for a while.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions? I'm going to put the recording of this on the events website that was in my, and you guys can listen again. You took your pictures, go make your accounts, put in your drugs, see what the answers are. And after tomorrow, there will be an apply for whatever plan it is that you want. The application is easy. Your name, your address, your date of birth, your Medicare number, copy it right off your card. Do you want to pay with a bill? Do you want it to come out of your Social Security or checking account? You pick whatever, no bad answer. It's whatever you're going to keep up with. Hit submit. You will get an electronic receipt that says it's been submitted. I highly suggest you save that. Everybody last year that tried to get that Cigna Assurance Plan who faxed an application, not a single one of them got it. I'm sure there was a large receptacle right next to that fax machine where they all went. So don't do paper. Paper is dead.
So
Everything is
once
gonna be
again, if we're
electronic.
keeping what we have, we don't have to do
You're
anything.
keeping what you have with what it looks like next year. You don't need to do a thing. You
Got
are
it.
good to go.
All right.
All right. Okay.
Thanks,
Well,
Pam.
all right. We'll put this up on as soon as we get the recording. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pam.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Pam. This was fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Pam.
Pam.
You're an angel.
Peace and love, Pam. Bye.